If you want to be high testosterone and even have levels of 1000 plus nanogram per deciliter like mine, you need to pay attention to detail. We all know a few basic ways to increase our levels, like lifting heavy weights, getting sleep, getting sunlight, eating fatty steaks, listening to music. All of these things are very good for increasing your levels. But what if I told you there is 3 very boring but super effective ways to increase your levels that you're probably not doing? So in this video I'll be going through the 3 ways, the boring ways to increase your levels. They're super easy, super simple, super effective, but they're boring. Nobody does them. So we're going to talk about it. Something that people do not do, and even myself I neglected for a long time because it felt pointless, but it's actually so effective and so important, right? And that is getting morning sunlight. As soon as you wake up, going outside and letting the daylight or the sunlight hit your eyes. I live in the UK, yeah, there's not much sunlight in the morning, it's very dark, it's very gloomy. All you got to do in them situations is stay outside for longer because there's less lux hitting your eye. Right, so why is this important? There's something called your circadian rhythm. You've probably heard of it before. It's essentially an internal clock. So your body fires what it needs to fire at certain times of the day so you work in the best way possible. This affects your mood, your hormones, your sleep, your cortisol, your melatonin, everything. Your morning routine is directly linked to your night routine. That means if you set your mornings up right by looking in the sun in the morning, telling your body it's daytime, when it comes to nighttime, it knows the clock. It knows when it needs to go to bed. So it's going to release certain things in your body that gets you in a deeper sleep and allows you to recover, release testosterone, increase your levels. And sleep is like the most important thing for your levels, yeah? So it seems like nothing just looking in the sun in the morning or the daylight, but it sets your sleep up perfectly. That's the main gist of it. You're going to get high quality sleep just from telling your body that it's daytime so it knows when it's nighttime. Now, there is an alternative if you do wake up in the morning super early and it's pitch black. There's a light you can buy which is 10,000 lux, which is basically how much you need in the morning to set your circadian rhythm. Obviously the natural source is better, but some people will have to use this light, and it's definitely worth the investment if you're not getting daylight. Also, the light being bright has no correlation to the lux, so if you turn your bedroom light on and it stuns your eyes and you think that's woke your eyes up, you've probably got about 200 lux. It hasn't told your internal brain and body and circadian rhythm that it's daylight. Although it's a shock to your eyes and you feel like you've just woken up, it's not the same thing as getting the 10,000 lux. Right, to link in with this first point, the second point is going to sleep at the exact same time and waking up at the exact same time. Obviously this links back into your internal clock, your circadian rhythm. It's the same principle, of course. You're just going to have better sleep. We know how important sleep is for testosterone. You're just maximizing your quality of sleep and making more testosterone production happen when you're sleeping. I would honestly recommend going to bed at the same time every single day, including the weekends. Yeah, obviously you're going to have a couple of days where you won't have the exact same time, but majority of the time, 90%, you want to be doing that. Set an alarm, yeah, not to wake up, but to go to bed, so you know that you're in bed the same time every single day, and you're going to fall asleep at the same time, roughly, if you're getting into bed at the same time. But it's boring, yeah, nobody does it. Nobody tries to go to bed early, of course, it's boring. But this is why everybody has low testosterone. If you want 1000 plus levels, you cannot neglect your sleep. It's literally the most important thing. On top of that, it makes your quality of life 10 times better. Yeah, so much better. Your days start from your sleep. I'm telling you now, I've had days when I wake up from bad sleep and the rest of my day is shit, honestly. But I've had days where I have amazing sleep and my day just fucking rolls on perfectly. You're going to be in a better mood. You're going to have high testosterone, so your energy is going to be through the roof, so you can get shit done. You're going to recover well, so you can train again. You're going to have better skin, clearer skin, better recovery. So many things, yeah. Do not neglect your sleep. The third boring way to increase your testosterone, walking. Yeah, to be specific, 6,000 to 8,000 steps. About 30 minutes of walking every single day. Again, it's super boring. It's just one of them things. It is boring. I do 25 to 30 every morning when I get my sunlight. So I'll do a walk as the sun's coming up or it's getting brighter in the day. So I'm hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. But the reason this is important is because it lowers your cortisol. It's like the best thing to lower your cortisol. And cortisol is terrible for your testosterone. It destroys your testosterone. and I'll quickly explain how that works. So you have the cholesterol molecule, yeah, and that has two paths it can go down. It can go to your cortisol, which is your stress, or it can go to your testosterone, which is your testosterone. And the more your cholesterol molecule goes to your cortisol, the less testosterone you're going to have. It has to go down one path. So the less cortisol you have, the more testosterone you're going to have. Do you understand? So this is why it's important to lower your cortisol. And again, walking 25 minutes, 30 minutes a day is so good for that. I saw some funny thing on Instagram, and it was like some guy had an argument with his wife, and he ended up going on like a 12-hour walk. And what that tells me is that he was stressing from the argument, and the walk just calmed him down, and he didn't even want to go home. He was just walking and walking and walking because it was just releasing stress. And yeah, walking's so important. I thought that was jokes, but remember, the lower your cortisol, the more testosterone you have. If you want to lower your cortisol, walking is the best way to do that. Obviously, there's other ways to lower your cortisol, like listening to music, all these fun things, but this video is the 3 boring ways. And remember, these things are so effective. Like, this isn't just little things that are going to put your levels up a little bit. These can double your levels if you do them consistently. So that is the 3 boring ways to increase your testosterone. Yeah, listen, most guys will never get 1000 plus testosterone because they lack the fucking basic discipline to do the basic things that skyrocket your testosterone. Yeah, be different. Increasing my testosterone was literally the best thing I've ever done. Yeah, getting to 1000 plus for my body, for my mind, for everything. Yeah, it's the ultimate life upgrade. And you don't have to be perfect, especially at the start. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent, and it grows on you, and you enjoy doing the habits which make you feel good. Yeah, and give you high testosterone, because there's no better feeling than being high test. So boys, that is it for the video. I'll see you in the next one.